when I asked people, so what is the next step? I was quite surprised to hear that people wanted to go to their previous jobs. They were not moving forward, they were not getting new opportunities. And it really dawned to me that they were waiting for someone to save them. The biggest fault is when people internalize the negative things that people say about them, and they start saying those things
To
about
themselves.
to themselves. They start believing a lie.
So you start believing your own lie because you heard it from someone else. So you repeat it now.
If you don't see yourself, for example, owning a plane, you will not.
I will never even visualize it.
You see now. So, and when you visualize, you start saying, but also when you start saying, you start believing, and you start seeing opportunities, and you start taking small steps towards what you need to do.
You always seem to be so calm, and you always know what to say. You say the right thing. I even write your notes, what to say, and wow, that's so profound. Welcome to Mind Flow and Mission with Ranzu, the noble one with love, also known as the Tsonga Barbie. So this show is all about how your mind works, how you flow, and your mission in life. So basically your objection in life. So today we have a very special guest. Her name is Rose Nkanyezi, which means Nkanyezi, a light. Right?
Star.
And a star, like a bright star. Nkanyezi is a light that is a star that shines throughout. So she goes and follows her name. And she is an author. She is my mentor. And she's going to tell us more about what she does. I think it's better coming from the horse's mouth. Don't you think?
Okay. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Welcome.
Hi, Renzo. Thank you so
Yes.
much for having me. I'm a coach.
Yes.
And a mentor and a facilitator, an author as well. So basically, with everything that I do, I inspire individuals to connect with their inner power. That's my work.
That is amazing. So with you inspiring people, so you decided to write a book, and that's why we brought you here today. So she's got a beautiful book right here. So her book is called You Are the Hero, right? You have been waiting for. So you are the hero that you've been waiting for. You do not wait for anyone else but yourself. So I want to know from you, what actually made you write this book, and why did you name this book You Are the Hero that you've been waiting for? Because I feel like it's a mirror to call to action to yourself. So why did you think of writing such an amazing book?
Okay, that book is birthed through my coaching work.
Okay.
Because each time I'll be coaching people, they'll be saying to me, you know what you're telling us? Most people need to hear this. You need to go to schools. We wish we have met you before, when we are younger. But now we are meeting you now. We wish, many, many, many people can hear your message. So that started planting an idea within me. And then one day I was in a coaching session. Amazingly so, it was the end of our journey with this group. And when I asked people, so what is the next step? I was quite surprised to hear that people wanted to go to their previous jobs. They were not moving forward. They were not getting new opportunities. And it really dawned to me that they were waiting for someone to save them.
So you mean to say that we have a savior mentality as people?
Most people do. Most people do.
Oh. So I want to just delve into the introduction, because you speak about the idea of a hero, right?
Yes.
And as a person, why do you think that people want to believe in other people rather than themselves, like their core belief, like what would that be about?
Okay.
And mostly, like, what do they struggle with? Like, especially since it's you as your job as a mentor, like what do people actually struggle most with, like with their beliefs, like their own self beliefs?
Okay. You know, Ranzo, it starts from a young age.
Yeah.
It starts from when we are born, how we are conditioned as babies. So we come from different families, and you know that most families, you will find that, especially Black people,
Mm-hmm.
you find that a child is raised by grandparents or aunts, and their parents have gone to Gauteng to make money. And you find that the child is not well taken care of in terms of being given attention. And these children, most of the time, they tend not to believe in themselves because no one has.
Yeah.
You know, you find that maybe they criticize you as you're growing, and the biggest fault is when people internalize the negative things that people say about them.
Sure.
And they start saying those things
To
to
themselves.
themselves.
That is
They
so.
start believing a lie.
So you start believing your own lie because you heard it from someone else. So you repeat it now.
Yes.
It's no longer that someone else is saying it. So now you start believing what another person is basically telling you about you.
Exactly.
That is so sad. So now in the first chapter, in the introduction, you speak about the masterpiece, right?
Yes.
So can you just maybe elaborate on that chapter? Like why would you talk about you being the masterpiece?
Okay. So I want, the idea is to say that every human being, everyone is special.
Okay.
Everybody is unique. Everybody was born with a talent, a skill, a gift. And the first chapter is really to say, you must remember who you are. You must remember that in spite of everything that has happened to you, you are still special. You are still good, you know. So when I work with people, I'm actually not adding anything to them. I'm actually helping them to remove the negative beliefs. You know, like in my book, I think you have seen that Michelangelo, when he was sculpting,
with the sculptures,
he would see a marble, and already in his mind, he will see the beauty of the statue that he's going to build.
So he already has a vision of what the outcome will be.
Exactly.
So that's what you'd like us to have, that kind of a mind.
And adding to that, as coaches, when we work with people, our assumption is that you already have the answers to everything that you need. So our work is to guide you to find it.
So can I just maybe ask you a follow-up question regarding that, since you work with me as well, you know? So when we come in as Ranzo, right, and then we come in expecting you to tell us who we are, how do you then navigate from like pivoting to us then being lost? How do you actually master that? Because I find that so intriguing, because you always seem to be so calm and you always know like what to say. You say the right thing. I even write like your notes, what to say. I'm like, wow, that's so profound. So now when it's someone who doesn't even know and have never believed in themselves and always been told what to do, told who they are, and then we come to a space where we're at, where you teach us about ourselves that we didn't know. Like it's a highlight of who we are, basically. So how do you then get us to where we are? I mean, I've come a long way.
Okay. For that particular work to make you come out, you know, when I'm talking to you guys, I might be, you know, putting a spark within you, but when I work with you like on a one-to-one,
One-on-one, yeah.
and I won't be telling you things, but I will be asking you questions that will make you remember who you are.
Mm, okay, I love
Yes.
that. And then chapter 2 focuses on unlocking your potential. So you spoke about now knowing the masterpiece in the first chapter. Now we come to unlocking your potential. How do I then know, as Ranzu or someone who's actually listening or watching, what to do when they unlock their
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 potential.
potential? Like, how do you know we even have potential? I think that's also another thing.
You know, Ranzo, the most amazing thing is that people these days, I find that they are mostly chasing careers that they've got money, that pay more, rather than chasing their passion. So when you are chasing money rather than passion, that's where people miss it. Because when you are chasing your passion, you're going to work hard. Because whatever you're passionate about gives you energy.
That is
You
true.
know, it gives you energy, you know, you don't get tired. Instead, it energizes you, you know, and that's how you can reach your potential, by working at your talent. You know, even the most talented athletes, they don't become the best because they were born with a gift. They become the best because they work on it.
Wow.
Because people need to know that if you are talented at something, it does not mean that you're going to be the best simply because you're gifted. You have to work hard.
There was something you said during our class, and I'll never forget, which is basically about this. You can only give your 100%. My 100% can maybe be like a 50%, and that's the best that I can do. And maybe someone out there thinks that they're not doing well because of they're trying to impress someone else, whereas you are giving yourself 100%, but the best that you can do is it's 50%. So in your experience, what do you think blocks people from getting opportunities like this? Like, what do you think blocks people? Like the mind, or is it lack of resources?
It's mostly the belief.
Mostly the belief.
Belief blocks people, because people who believe in themselves create opportunities.
That is so profound. I love that. And then, like me, I didn't really have a lot of belief in myself. I had to start from the ground up and telling myself every single day that, okay, I'm worthy. And I love using the Bible because he tells me who I am. And I believe it because he's the one who created me. So I also like to say, like, he's the manufacturer of my life. It's like you taking a car to the manufacturer, so he knows what's good for you. Definitely. So now let's move on to chapter 3, where we're shifting mindsets. So now I want to know, what are the mindset that shift and changed your life, or maybe your personality?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, mindset, they change when we have a profound experience, or maybe your mind view, you know, how you look at life, how you look at things. One day you wake up and things are different. Let me give you an example.
Yes, yeah.
Even though it does not come from my personal life,
yes,
it happened in the professional space. But it transferred to everything in my life.
Oh, okay.
You know? Yeah. So there was a time when I was working as an editor.
Okay.
And then it happened that my book had a lot of mistakes. Okay. And at that time, I was just promoted to be It was not senior editor or something like that. And then in a short space of time, in between hardly a month, then I was demoted.
Oh my.
Because my book had a lot of mistakes. I did not meet the standard.
Okay.
But let me tell you, it was a gift.
So that was a blessing in disguise.
At the moment, because I was called in the office, shouted at, demoted, I felt really bad.
Oh.
But I then went to see my mentor, Queen Ramotsewa.
Yes, I love it.
And then when I told her the story, the first thing she said to me, it means I have not taught you anything.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
What?
And she says, all along, I was trying to get you to believe in yourself and never mind how people view you. Never mind how people see you. Because now, because of this demotion, I was now feeling small, feeling like I'm not worthy, feeling like, how can I do that? I'm not capable, you know? And we can make a mistake of having one incident, one era in our life, make it so major that it can define who we are. And
just that small, that one thing.
Exactly.
You think it defines your whole life.
Exactly. Exactly. And I was so blessed to have her in my life to give me the correct perspective. So today, even when I make a mistake or anything happens, I still hold my head high, knowing that I'm human. I will make mistakes, but they do not define who I am. And in that way, it has made me not to mind how people look at me in any situation.
Sure. So now going back to chapter 4 about overcoming your setbacks. So in your book, you talk about that. So like for someone who hasn't read it, maybe just give them like a little snippet of what it's about, like the message that you wanted to give the people regarding this topic.
Okay.
For you, like let's say I've got setbacks in my life.
Yes.
And then I like your book and I haven't read it and I want to go buy it.
Yes. Okay. So setbacks, Ranzo, it's mostly what make people, when they feel pain, maybe their expectations are not met. Maybe they've not gotten the job that they thought they were going to have. Or okay, let me say to you, in my coaching experience, I always find people who say to me, I thought by now I would be this far. Okay. But setback according to whom?
Right? I think it's the society.
Setback according to whom? Because from my experience, just what I've just said, shared with you.
Yes.
Any setback in itself, there's a blessing. In itself, there's a lesson to be learned. So there's never anything in your life that happens to you that doesn't come with a gift. And another thing is that people want to associate pain with setback. But pain is part of life. Pain is part of life because sometimes you'll feel pain, sometimes you'll feel joy. Just like life has got seasons of life. You've got winter, you've got summer, and when January starts, you don't say to yourself, I don't want it to be cold in June. It's going to be cold regardless. In June. So what do? We get on our
jackets,
our coats, exactly.
Our boots.
So you prepare yourself because life, the way life is a mixture. Some days are ordinary,
Mm-hmm.
Some days are very good.
Mm-hmm.
Some days are hard. That's
Yeah.
how life is.
Definitely.
Yes.
And then you also speak about resilience in the book. How do you then explain to someone that doesn't know how to navigate and have that volition to go deep and know that, you know what, let me go and push harder for me to get to the other side and unlock my potential?
Mm.
How do we then do that as humans?
Okay.
Mm.
With resilience, for me, it starts with first honoring yourself, knowing who you are, accepting that you were born with something, and knowing that you've got a gift that you need to work on for it to shine. And then resilience also has to do with finding support. You know, in life, there are certain things that you can handle by yourself.
That's true.
There are certain things that when you've shared with a friend, it's over. Like you are laughing about it. And there are certain things, even after sharing with your friends, it's still there.
Yes.
It tells you that you need to go for counseling. So for me, resilience really is to say, how much is your self-awareness in terms of what you are facing? Because what you are facing, are you able to go through it alone? Or do you need professional help? Or do you need... But you need someone next to you. You need someone. You cannot always make it by yourself. Yes.
So do you think that would be a way for you to build your resilience?
Yes. Build your resilience by acknowledging where you are and starting where you are.
So we start with what we have.
With what you have. With what you have, where you are, with what you have. And sometimes you need a hand.
A hand to help you cross the road.
Exactly.
I love that. So now we're going to move on to, now we've gone through the challenges of being resilient and all that. Now we move to the chapter about healing. So we talk about healing and forgiveness. On the last episode, I was actually talking about it being the hardest thing to say to someone, to say, I'm sorry. How do we navigate healing? And then also, if maybe someone has done wrong to you, how then do we navigate that? As my coach or anyone with experience, how do you do that?
Okay. With forgiveness, we have to acknowledge that some people will not apologize. Some people will not even acknowledge that they've done something wrong. But forgiveness, you have to do it for yourself. Because what you hold within yourself, when you don't forgive somebody, let's say their mistake or whatever they've done, it's got a color.
Yes.
Let's say that color is black.
Okay.
And they've done it to you. It's going to splash on you. And it's going to be on you until you let it go.
Sure.
So the first thing, you need to be willing to forgive. Because most people will say, I'll never forgive this person.
So you saying it out loud to say that, no, I'm not going to forgive. You're actually harboring resentment for someone else.
Exactly.
And you actually end up having that burden.
You're having that burden, and that burden can even cause you sickness.
My goodness. So you mean some illnesses are caused by unforgiveness?
Yes.
And not being healed? Shoo. Sis Rose,
hard stuff.
That's really hard stuff. I didn't know, because, you know, we like to say things or lack of.
Yeah.
Because of pride. We don't want to say I'm sorry to someone else because why? It doesn't matter, and I can just move on with my life. But no, at the end of the day, what you're saying is, I'm going to be the one that's going to be sick, and then you're going to be fine because...
Well, what you have to realize in life is that what you are holding is going to affect you first before it affects somebody else. It's like when you are going to give somebody flowers. If those flowers, you're holding them in your hand and they're smelling nice, before you even give them, the fragrance will be in your hands.
Wow. And then just a follow-up question. What happens when a person is not ready to forgive yet?
Okay, even if you're not ready to forgive, but you have to say to yourself, I'm willing.
I'm willing. It's all about willingness. You need to take
I'm
the
not
first
ready now,
so
but I'm willing to forgive.
So you first
It's a journey.
you're acknowledging
Yes.
that you need to actually take the step to forgive someone.
Yes.
But you actually honest with yourself that, you know what, I'm not ready to actually forgive, but it's a process. I am willing, but it will take place.
It's a very different thing for someone to say, I don't want to forgive. If you say, I don't want to forgive, it means that you are now blocking ways of forgiving.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. And then also what stood out for me was your chapter about authenticity. I just love that. So now I wanted to ask you a question. What are the deepest fears people actually carry when it comes to that, to being fully authentic?
I think as people, even if we are these beautiful, glorious human beings, we also know that we have our flaws. So I think people, they don't want to be fully authentic because maybe they're afraid that they will not be loved or embraced fully when they expose everything that they are.
So this notion of people saying, let's fake it until we make it, that's not being authentic, right? Or can it work in your advantage in a way?
It depends what it is.
What it is. Depends on the scenario.
I think so. I think so.
All right. No, I love that. Yeah. And then do you also think people hide from themselves? Because you said that they're not coming in fully. So are they hiding what they need to fix about themselves, or are they hiding that people might judge them?
People hide from themselves. What will be the reason? When they have not fully accepted themselves. The person. So a person looks at himself or herself and judge themselves. And say, I'm not good enough.
Good enough, yeah.
Then they will hide because they think everybody else is better than them.
So you playing an advocate for yourself, basically. So you are the police, you the judge, and the advocate, or maybe so that's what you're doing to yourself. Exactly. Which is actually harming you at the end of the day. That is profound. And then we want to just talk about choosing happiness amongst everything else. So now I wanted to find out the decision that you made to make yourself happy. When did you decide, listen, as Usisi Rose, ngifuna ukuba happy, and I want to share it and write about it in my book?
Okay. So it is really because I love reading.
Yes.
It is through reading a number of books, and one of them being, there's this coach called Martha Beck.
Martha Beck, yeah.
She wrote a book called Joy Diet.
Okay.
And in that Joy Diet, I was surprised to say, okay, to have joy and to be happy, these are the steps. And I'm like, what? Then for the first time I read that, wow, to be happy, you need to create this happiness. Because people will say, my boyfriend doesn't make me happy, or my friends, my who, not realizing that happiness is something that you must create for yourself.
So you mean to tell me when people say, oh, my husband doesn't make me happy, I'm leaving him, those people haven't fully discovered who they are. So they need to do some work in themselves
Exactly.
so that they can know that happiness comes from within, not from
Exactly.
another person. So what I'm understanding is you saying happiness is yours, that you are willing to share it with someone else.
Exactly.
And then you come together. You happy, I'm happy, then we become happy together.
Yes.
Oh.
And then also to cultivate happiness, let's say you are very sad. Where do you start? You start by having gratitude.
Can you explain to someone who doesn't know what gratitude is?
Okay, gratitude is really giving thanks and acknowledging what you have.
Amen.
So gratitude in situations, even like when you wake up, what is the first thing that you say to yourself?
I say, thank you, Jesus, for being up. I'm grateful to be
that I'm awake. You already you are acknowledging that you've been given something.
Life.
You've been given life. And that people, when they wake up throughout the day, they don't see anything good.
Oh my.
They only see negatives. They only see what they're not getting.
Oh.
So gratitude changes your mind to see and acknowledge what you have. So even when things are not going right, your gratitude attitude reminds you of what is going right. Therefore, you have joy in your life.
Yo. Wow. So now when you're happy, then it means that we're going to go into this chapter where we talk about vision as well as choosing living with purpose and vision. So now I want to ask you, when you're truly walking in your purpose, how do you then know that it's actually part of your vision?
Okay. When you live in your purpose, actually, I believe that you are doing what you need to do in life. And it starts with small things, Ranzo.
Yes.
It starts with, before you come even into your career.
Yes.
It starts with you are in class, you realize, every time we go for lunch, this person is never going out. And something tells you must share your bread.
Your bread with them, yeah.
And then you listen to that voice.
Okay.
And you share your bread. Okay. Those small guides, they lead you to bigger things in life. They lead you. When you start listening to that inner voice, it starts becoming louder and louder. Because most people, they're like, but what is Rose going to think if I'm sharing?
Or I'm actually, I'm looking down. Because some people get offended when you try to help them.
Yes. So, and for you not to help them also is your pride. Because you're like, what is he going to think? What is she going to think about me? There are certain situations whereby you feel, and sometimes it can even happen with a stranger.
Yes, it does.
You feel somebody's at the till, they're trying to pay. And they are taking long. They're counting these coins.
And you can see what's it,
and you have. But it's just so difficult to.
Because is it because of the economy, pride?
The economy does not come in.
It's humanity.
It's human pride. What is this person going to think? But if you start listening to that voice within, then you start be guided from within. And then your purpose, as you are guided, then you are guided to do bigger things. Yes.
I love it. And then we want to talk about chapter 11, where we speak about vision, like visualizing what we just spoke about. How do we then see the future of it? Like, how do we see the future of actually living what we actually speak life into? Like, for example, I see myself as Ranzo, the business person. And then how do I then visualize that as someone that wants to live according to my purpose and vision?
Yeah. So, Ranzo, To visualize actually is a first step.
Mhm.
Is a first step, and it's a very important step. It's very, very important to see yourself being the thing that you want to be. You know, it's very, very important. Some years back, I went to Disney World,
Okay.
and at that time they had a slogan that said, "If we can dream it, we can make it."
Oh, nice.
You know,
It's easier said.
and it was in my mind for a long, long time.
So it stuck with you.
It stuck with me. But let me tell you the opposite of it.
Oh, okay.
If you cannot dream it, you also cannot make it.
Oh, that's
In my book, I talk about this girl that I gave a lift to from Northwest.
Mm.
And when this girl, when I asked her if one day she wants to have a car, and she said, cars, they're for men. You know, those...
The mindset is so old school, and maybe because of the environment?
Yeah. For example, you're sitting here. If you don't see yourself, for example, owning a plane, you will not.
No, I will never even visualize it.
You see now.
Yeah.
So, and when you visualize, you start saying, but also when you start saying, you start believing, and you start seeing opportunities, and you start taking small steps towards what you need to do. And most of the time, why these big visions of people never materialize is because when there's that prompt within you, you don't take an action. But you need to take action for it to become a reality.
Yeah. And then what are the differences between dreaming and being aligned?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very simple. Dreaming is, you know, what I was told is that everybody's got a dream.
Yes, we do.
If you go to the streets, even the people sitting outside there, you ask them, what do you want? They'll tell you, I want a big house. I want a big car. I want to live in Sandton or whatever.
I want
where they want to live. I want family.
Yeah.
The difference.
Yeah, there's differences. And then my dream might seem like it's small to you, but it's big to me. Because like what you said, it's different. My dream is my dream and yours is yours. And sometimes we judge each other's dreams, eh?
Yes.
Which is so wrong.
But the biggest thing, Renzo, it's when you dream, and you can dream, but now when you come to alignment means that my actions, what I'm saying, my actions, my intention is going to be put in this thing that I want to build. So, it's not just saying, but everything
revolves around it.
Exactly.
So what you take like steps to be, let's say, I'm just going to make an example hypothetically. Let's say I wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
And that's my dream. So I can't just sit there and say I want to be a singer and watch the big stars sing without me going to vocal coaches, without me practicing maybe an instrument, or also learning about the actual industry,
and going to the industry
and finding out. So we need to take those steps so that I can know exactly what I need to do so that I can be the best in that. Okay. And then also I wanted to know, how do we navigate our live seasons? Because, you know, we have seasons, we've got good seasons, bad seasons. I like to look at it as normal seasons, you know, like the winter, spring. How do we then know which season? What do we do in which season? How do we navigate the seasons? Because it's so difficult to be stuck in summer where it's winter. Like you said we needed to wear a coat.
Yeah.
So how do we then navigate life seasons? Because we go through losses, wins, and all those things.
The biggest thing is the perspective of life. And the things that we tell ourselves about the seasons that we're in.
Mm.
is very important.
Mm.
First thing when I'm coaching people or I'm talking to a group of people, I say to them, no, first thing, that pain, it's a human experience. So the difference is when you're feeling pain and you say, why me?
Mm.
And you go into a pity party, it's going to be difficult for you to come out of it.
Mm.
But if I'm going through some difficult stuff and I say to myself, this is life.
Yo.
And I say to myself, I'm going to come out of it. And when I talk to people, I'm not talking to them for them to put a pity party with me, but I'm talking to them to give me strategies or to help me to come out. There's a big difference.
There is a major difference.
Yes.
So coming into the other chapter, which is chapter 12, where we're speaking about ourselves, what we say about ourselves. This is very profound because now I want to know, like, does it cost you when you say negative things about yourself?
Big time. Big, big, big time. Talking to ourselves is the fundamental thing in our lives because it shapes who we are.
Mm.
You can escape from other people. You can have a break from
Mm-hmm.
other people,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll never have a break from yourself.
Oh, wow.
So can you imagine if you are with somebody who is always criticizing you?
Sure, and then you come as well, you criticize yourself.
So you imagine now that internal dialogue or monologue within yourself being negative. You know,
sure.
It is destroying. And I say to people, be your cheerleader. Cheerleader, you know the cheerleaders? Yes. Be your cheerleader. Be the one to say, I will make it. You know?
Even if the odds are against you.
Even if the odds are against you. If you have a positive attitude and you tell yourself that I will make it, you will make it. Let me tell you, it's the fundamental. One thing that shapes who we are. Negative people start by being negative within themselves.
So if let's say I'm a negative person and it means I sit at home and wallow and talk bad about myself, then I start seeing you negative, then I start speaking negative about you or about things.
Exactly. You start talking about everything is
the
negative.
Weather, small things.
Yeah.
Then becomes a habit.
Exactly.
And then you gradually become that person.
Yeah.
So it builds your character now.
Exactly.
So now people will know you. We know Ranzu, she's so negative. She's always gonna, and then people avoid you. So it will cost you what exactly? So it would cost you obviously your mental state.
Yes.
And then also your social standing.
Exactly.
And then what else do you think it would cost as someone that would be suffering from this?
Obviously, because you are criticizing yourself, you will not be going for the things that you need to go for because you tell yourself that they won't work. And then, so first, you're not reaching your goals because everything might not work.
Sure.
Therefore, you are not taking risks. And then also, the biggest thing for me, especially when you're a mom, is that you are going to transfer that negativity to your kids.
How so?
How so? They say we either give our kids, the good in life, or we give them resentment. So whoever you are, if you don't deal with yourself, you don't deal with your issues, you don't heal, that pain and resentment that you carry, you're going to transfer it to the next generation.
So is this how generational curses begin?
Yes.
My word.
Yes. When we don't acknowledge what has happened to us and deal with it, we are going to take whatever and pass it on to the next generation. So we need to work with ourselves so that we are clear on what is going forth to the next generation.
Yeah. So now when we move to this next chapter about financial and how to actually work around money and wisdom, let's call it financial wisdom. You speak about that, you touch a lot about that. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with this a lot and might be one of the most detrimental things that could actually cause you to be doubtful about where you're going in life. And I just wanted you to maybe explain to someone why it's so important for you to get this financial wisdom, for you to actually be the right person to be around, and how to actually navigate life.
Yeah. So my book, when you look at it,
Yes,
H is for healing.
I love it.
E is economic empowerment.
Yes.
R is for resilience. O, outstanding performance. So you cannot be a full-rounded person without the economic empowerment.
I love that.
Because we are no longer raising our children to be married, to be taken care of by somebody. We want every individual, when they are adults, to be able to take care of themselves. Economic empowerment is very important. When you talk about being, independent, it starts by you understanding finances, understanding that you can generate income for yourself, and looking within you to say, what are my gifts? What are my talents? When I go do my nails, for example, I admire some people. They've started doing the nails,
yes.
beautiful nails. They've started this art at home in the back room.
Yeah.
And some of them, they've taken themselves out. They are now in the malls. They're renting a shop in a big mall. So it shows you that there is no skill that you can look down upon. There's nothing. But people need to know that their gifts and talents, you start from there, from what you've been given.
Then you can take it from there.
You can make money
from it.
From it, and then be able to manage it accordingly.
Yeah. And then also from one of the lessons that we've had, I love the fact that you actually taught us about budgeting, the importance of how to budget, because people get like a lump sum and then they won't know how to navigate it correctly. So now you need to know exactly what goes where and when it should go.
Yes.
So does that go as a wisdom part of things?
Yes. And some things like budgeting are things that you are taught. To say that when you get your salary or you run a business and you get your money, you have to divide your money into certain portions. These are for expenses, for savings, blah, blah, blah. What is important about money, Renzo, is that our people like to be gratified now. Instant gratification. You are starting a business. You don't have tools to work, but you are given just, money is not even 100,000, maybe it's even
50,000.
But instead of you buying the equipment for your business, you go on a holiday.
Or
you go deposit a very expensive car. You understand?
Which you can't afford because you didn't plan.
So what I want to say about money is that what we have to bear in mind is that the things that you want, you are going to get, but you need to be patient.
Mm.
There is time for everything.
Hmm.
Even the things that you want, let them wait. Build yourself first. You can't say, I want to put a roof when you have not put a foundation and build a house, you know. So the most important lesson about finances is to be able to understand that and accept where you are in life. When we say start where you are, how much do you have? Don't look next door. What are they doing? You have to know your needs, budget accordingly. What can be left for tomorrow, which I always say it's like having a fruit. When we're eating a fruit, we don't eat an apple and throw the seeds.
The seeds, yes.
We plant the seeds so that tomorrow there should be something. But when we eat and throw the seeds, tomorrow there won't be anything to come to. That is why some people, they're always starting. You meet somebody, they're always starting because
they don't finish what they
don't
start.
finish what they started.
And they don't plant it.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to close, but can I just maybe if you can give a little bit of a nugget based on celebrating your success, and then from there, then you can just share where people will find you on your socials and know all about your business.
Yeah.
Just before we close it.
So, Ranzo, celebrating yourself is a very, very important aspect because life can be hard. But it is important for you when you set goals for yourself to be able to acknowledge yourself. Remember, the hero does not wait for the external validation.
I love that.
If the external validation comes, is a bonus. But the hero starts by acknowledging themselves. Whatever you're doing, if you said, I'm going to do this, acknowledge that I've done it. Yes, celebrate.
The small ones, even the small wins.
Even the small wins.
Nice.
You know, before my family celebrated with me publishing a book, I took myself out.
I love that.
You know? So it is so, so important to acknowledge that. And it also says, you are not comparing yourself with other people. You are acknowledging where you're coming from. And you are saying to yourself, I'm not where I used to be, even if I'm not where I want to be. But you're acknowledging your journey. You're acknowledging that as a person, I'm improving. I'm getting somewhere.
I love it.
You know?
So maybe just tell our listeners and people that are watching where they can get a hold of you and your services as well.
Okay. If you want to follow me or get my services like coaching, facilitating, or mentoring, or buy my book, you can go to my website, which is www.awakeningheroes.co.za. My WhatsApp, 083-581-3144. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Sis Rose, for honoring the invite. I'm sure a lot of people are really going to learn a lot. And please don't forget to buy the book. Please. Is it upside down? Please don't forget to buy the book. It's helping me. She's helping me personally and through the book. I would encourage you to do that. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us here on Mind Flow and Mission with Ranzu. Till next time, it's bye from me, Ranzu.